dude, like it's all good memories coming back, man.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
I just want to put a little in the pot and worthless causes. Hey, this is Catch-All, everybody. Oh, man, that's an opening. Welcome to the Catch-All podcast. This is Constantly Calibrating's gaming water cooler. We talk about all of our experiences in the gaming world.
Yes.
I'm your host, Justin. Co-host is Josh today. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing quite well. As I was saying before the show, my body kind of got destroyed from the Constant Calibrating 300 episode for both emotional and physical reasons. So I'm coming back to things, but it's been a decent enough day, and this is my favorite show we do every week. So I'm excited.
Aw, mine too.
I like
reasons.
I like this show. I get to talk games with, like my best friend, and we get to just see where it goes, and it's one of the only shows we do that we actually adhere to our planned topic for like 80+%.
I would say that, but I don't know how much I had this actually touched. Like, this is one of the longer documents I put up.
This is a document right now. I'm a little honestly intimidated by it because I did also tell Charnel I would not be back here all night again.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. It's just my game notes. And there's some topics on this that I haven't fully researched yet. Like the Occulus Facebook event happening today. I only got snippets of it. I have an article I'm going to look at. We're going to do a live read-ish. Not as in I'm going to read the article. I'm just going to do a fast scan of it and
Just while I'm talking about my game stuff, give it some glances and ganders and whatnot.
I will not.
Hey, look at that.
I didn't expect that.
No, that was. So yeah, so let's go into our topics and all that jazz.
Oh, Zyger derailing us. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Anyway, chat. Our first topic is, of course, what game do you play? Mine is a lot of last week. I got a whole lot on Borderlands. Do we want to open up with that?
We can start with Borderlands. I'm fine talking about that. I mean, I mentioned it on the last night's Constant Calibrating, but in the time since last week where I proclaimed that I was not going to play Borderlands 3 under any circumstance. I just had no interest in it and whatnot. Yeah. In that time, I happened to follow our buddy Snowbike Mike over to watch the influencer manager for Borderlands on Borderlands at Gearbox, Cal Stevenson, Penguin Rage, over at his channel, entered a contest in the first minute I was in there and ended up being the winner of the game. Because that's apparently the weird ass luck I have in this world of late.
This Superman luck, yes.
Hey, you know what? I got no luck for actual personal family life, so let me win games apparently. So I will be touching the game, so to speak. I will be playing the game in probably the next couple days, probably for next episode.
Ooh, please join me. Well, please join me. Please let me know so I could join you and your experience on that. Which we'll touch a little bit of how that works as well. So jumping right into it, I am still digging the gameplay, but the more I'm playing it, the more I realize this is really just an old game as far as design choices. Mm-hmm. It's the thing. Everybody's saying this is more Borderlands. That's what some people want, and some people go okay. The problem is they didn't really push anything forward in this genre, even though they may have been a big part of starting looter shooter stuff, or defining it really.
Sure. I would agree.
I mean, there's some just dumb stuff one that I mentioned you can't skip the beginning. You can't skip any cutscene. It doesn't matter if you've seen it or not. On top of that, this always bugs me in a game that has side stories where you open and a big map where you open up the map, you can't switch your objectives while looking at the map. That's still a thing. Yet you can switch them on the fly while you're in normal gameplay.
I'm just trying to map my brain around that right now. That's okay. Odd.
So they still this would have been a fantastic game rave reviews if it came out at the beginning of this generation.
Sure.
But they have some design choices in there that are like 70 years old. But
in gaming, 70 years old in gaming years. Let's be clear here.
Oh, no, I'm 7 years old. I mean,
oh, they said 70. Well, 70 in gaming years.
Yeah, there you go. They're like dogs. But like that said, the gameplay loop is still good. It still has me in, as in you're playing, getting loot, get a new gun, kind of changes the way you play. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to actually think about my build instead of just running around shooting everything, which is pretty much all you do in Borderlands. Like, there's not variety in the missions. It's pretty much go here, shoot this thing. But I mean, that's what type of game this is. Same thing like a Diablo. I mean, I love Diablo. Love it. But it's go over here, bash this thing, and click on this item. I mean, you probably could boil down every game to a simplistic view. But I mean, it is what it is. That saying, like, kind of getting further into the story. Some parts I like, some parts I don't. I actually watched an overview of all the Borderlands story put together. Or someone explained it, rather. And it can get rather deep. But my problem with the story of Borderlands 3 is it's just so damn cliche at some points. Some of the characters are. The writing is really good at times, and it's just incredibly cringy on others. Like, there's no middle ground there. Some people, it's like such a coin flip on everybody on this. Some people really love it. Some people just makes them cringe. But like, they took some characters from like Tales of the Borderlands who actually have a fleshed out and deep story and turned them into like one note jokes. Okay. And those are the parts I kind of like really irk me on that. But
that's what I've heard a lot of people say, though. I mean, like, that seems like one of the most frustrating things, particularly for people, how much they love Tales of the Borderlands characters.
Yeah, but that's if you're into the story, and games don't have to be all about story, and Borderlands actually proves it. Going all that without the story, like, this is a game that you could just zone out to or play while podcast is going. It's very good for that type of thing. Like, you would grind out in any like live service games now, or RPGs or something like, or MMOs and stuff like that. So for that, still a great game. What else did I write here? Because I wrote a lot of dumb things. But yeah, just. I mean,
I was going to say on this. I was holding it up. I was to say on the story side of things. I mean, I just had to take a second to think about it, to gather my thoughts. I mean, even as a person who loves story elements and loves story gaming and stuff like that, Borderlands 1, certainly Borderlands 1, and to a lesser extent 2, were never about the story. It was about the mindless, repetitive, and I don't mean that as a negative, just mindless, repetitive action. That was the perk and the enjoyment. I found, though, is the perk and enjoyment of the game. So a weaker story in 3 is not that big a deal to me.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the weaker story, like, the two main characters are pretty much a pun or cliche of streamers and YouTubers.
Sure. Yeah, that part.
Again, I opened Funnier a couple of years ago.
A good 3 years back.
And as I say, like, some of the writing is just straight cringeworthy, but sometimes they do have a really good voice actor that brings it through. Like, Ashley Birch. Her lines, if you read them straight out, could be super cringy, but the way she delivers them is just, you want to hear more. It's so good. I did, like, I won't spoil exactly what, even though I'm pretty sure you might have heard about it, who's actually checking into Borderlands stuff, but Ice-T's in the game. I won't spoil what his character is, but his character is essentially Ice-T in this situation. But that is fantastic. So they make some really cool choices there. Again, some of the writing's cool. Like, a lot of the death cries I've been hearing, like, I wrote a couple down, like, one's like, "Joke's on you, I'm in massive debt." Another one's like, "You'll never forget the name," and just dies. And another one being like, "Tell my kids I wish they existed." Stuff like that. And then there's one that comes through, it's like, "Just eat my asshole." I'm like, ugh. I mean, there's good stuff in there.
There's perfectly cromulent stuff in there. It sounds like it.
But that mentioned too, Brad actually brought up a cool thing on our Council Calibrating 300th episode that we recorded yesterday, which y'all should go watch when we release it.
But it should go out on Monday or Tuesday, but yeah.
Oh yeah, if you want like a deep dive into the lore of Council Calibrating, we had all of our... Yeah, we had all our, pretty much, anybody who was in charge of hosting a show or took over hosting duties was on that show.
Yep. Anyone who had any level of creative control over the Constant Calibrating podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, besides some who couldn't be there because of some issues. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's an interesting look at some people you probably haven't seen in a long time or just haven't seen, period. But with that said, like Brad brought up a cool point. They have a lot of neat integration with Twitch. Where
I'm actually jealous about that stuff, in all honesty.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, you can see their loot, you can see their level, you can see their loadout, you can see what they got. I didn't know that you actually can get loot from watching people play on Twitch and have a little bit of control of the enemies they fight. Like you can actually like level up some of the more elite units. If they drop loot, it could drop loot for you. It's really a cool mechanic. I need to go experience it more myself so I could give like finer details on it, even though I think Brad pretty much covered it pretty well last night. But yeah, that's something cool that I just did not know.
That's great.
So some other things that we'll jump into. We might as well just roll in this Jump Force. It's on Game Pass. I do like the anime fighters. I do like the Dragon Ball Z's and whatnot. Jump Force is the game where they pretty much take all Shonen Jump, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Bleach, My Hero Academia, all that, and just throw them all together. But they made a weird decision about going with hyper realistic graphics, which just doesn't work.
Okay, that's a choice.
Also, it just I played on Xbox One X, but that game is forever loading. And not that, well, the loads do take a decent amount of time because we're kind of spoiled with loading times now. I remember we used to waiting for a game to load for 5 minutes and just be patient with it, but now it's just like, but like it loads to go to, if you're playing single player mode, to go into the opening area. It loads when you have to talk to a conversation, loads for a cutscene, loads to go back to the main area, loads to go into a shop, loads to picks your stuff for a fight, loads to get into that fight, loads to talk about that. I don't know, like it loads all the damn time. And it's just really taking me out of it. I kind of was enjoying it. Like I was just kind of doing some mindless stuff. I really was not have this game on my radar because I kind of saw it's like that's cool. I'm surprised I didn't get more excited about it than I kind of do for a Dragon Ball game. Like I'm super excited about Kakarot, but like I didn't know like you make your own. I almost said weeaboo, but that's actually true. But you make your own anime character, and that's who you play as. It's a story.
That's pretty cool,
and,
actually.
Actually, the more I'm playing it, the more I'm realizing this is just Dragon Ball Xenoverse reskinned.
Okay.
Like, the fighting is about the same. The way you level up is damn near the same. The overworld is the damn same. Your items are the damn same. There are some like hit mix, and I'm pretty sure someone who's like super into fighting games would point out a whole lot of things. But to me, as a general consumer who just loves to jump into a fighting game, or not, again, I get super competitive about it, but enjoys a fighting game as a fighting game, not as a competitive thing. It kind of felt like Xenoverse to me, but it's cool because like you got Ichigo from Bleach, you got all the One Piece cast, never got super into One Piece, you got All Might and whatnot from My Hero Academia popping in. So like it's a really cool mashup. A weird story. It just doesn't make sense. It's just like all the anime has come into the real world,
as it does,
and in you as a real person become an anime character,
as one does.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that. That's all I really have to say about it. It was interesting. I just want to point it out because this game I kind of always wanted to jump into, but now it's actually on Game Pass. And God, Mixer. I mean, I'm doing this for free. Talking up Game Pass anytime I can, man. If you want to point, man, let me know.
Apparently, Mixer partners now actually get money for getting people to subscribe to Game Pass or upgrading to Ultimate.
I could do that for you. I can. And the thing is, because it's just such a damn good service.
Yeah,
damn good service.
It's a great service if you actually use it, unlike, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Gears of War 5 is sitting right there. You haven't even passed the thought to download it.
I haven't even turned on my Xbox One. That's the one that actually plays games, because the original day one Xbox One, which is not technically day one anymore, that one doesn't play video games anymore. The one I have in the office here, which I bought. I'm gonna finish this. I bought an Xbox One X specifically so I can watch 4K stuff in here and have an Xbox One X in here. Has literally not been turned on in a month and still hasn't actually played a single video game or watched any 4K Blu-rays or anything.
But you can put stuff on PC.
Yeah.
And the PC Game Pass is freaking awesome right now.
I know.
Just as a console one. But yeah, I mean, even Yosemite Bland mentioned something that we both got excited about. It's like, I just happened to scroll through the menus. I'm like, Outer Worlds is here. Did I miss that message when you said that's a Game Pass title? And then, yeah, you can kind of like pre-purchase or preload it or something like that, which is weird for a subscription service, but well, not correctly. I think it's like the Apple Store. I forget what they call it to reserve a game, pre-order
something like
a game,
that.
which pretty much you just tap it and the moment it comes available, it downloads. I imagine it's like that, but still, I'm super excited to get into the Outer Worlds, and I don't have to go purchase a full $60 game to do it.
No, that's actually and that's awesome. And that'll probably be the thing I actually play using it first, just based on timing, and I just know how I work. On that topic, Yosemite Blam in chat said, "Can we throw you guys that sub? I love the Game Pass, the Outer Worlds, end of October." And no, again, it is for Mixer partners only. I mean, I guess you could tweet at Mixer and be like, "Hey, these guys sold me on a Game Pass. Can I give them credit?" But they'll probably ignore you. It's. I really appreciate the thought, and that's lovely of you. If you want, I can recommend some Mixer partners that you can give that credit to.
Now, Josh, let's jump into the first thing you've been into, and then I'm going to get to the rest of the stuff I've been into, and then we're going to meet in the middle in a couple games.
All right. Okay, I'm a little turned on. What are we going with for me? That one.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
Mutazione.
Which half their staff can't either, so I guess I'm not feeling bad about
I'm still not even certain I'm saying it right. So I talked a little bit last week. So the plan was I was going to have a full review on last week's podcast. I just couldn't finish the game in time. I just decided ultimately to just take my time with it, not rush it. So it's a narrative-based game. You play as the character Kai. I think I've gone over this last week, but I'll just give you guys a quick intro. You visit this essentially island village called Mutazione. It is a place where some time ago a meteor hit, killed the shit out of a lot of people, and mutated the people who were left over there. In the story, you are visiting your grandfather, who is some kind of healer-esque person, and things aren't going right. It's a post-apocalyptic world that's not scary, at least in the traditional zombies kind of way. Yeah, so that's the basic rundown of the game. Simply put, it is probably my favorite narrative story I have played, certainly in 2019. Possibly in a long time. I love narrative-based stuff, but it got its hooks into me. The way it plays with music and with narrative and the writing, it handles sad storylines and comedic stuff. And there's literally you're in the middle of this really sad storyline where one of the characters is reliving the 3-year anniversary of the death of their spouse and children. And they are in this thing, and then it's this beautiful, heartfelt, painful storyline, and then you can choose to wander around, because the way the game works is it's broken up into dawn, morning, midday, afternoon, evening, night, and late night, essentially for most days, and it tells you when a conversation is going to progress you to the next time thing, and before you do that next progression, you can wander around and talk to anyone, or you could just literally just slam through the storyline. It's just in exploring and talking to people is when you'll get more of the details and more of the information about characters to fill stuff in. So you're having this heartfelt storyline with this person, but if you decided to explore and you found some of the sausage people, because there's sausage people in the game, they'll always be on this entire rant about this money market kind of scheme they're doing, and it's downright fucking slapstick hysterical kind of stuff. But here's the thing, it doesn't feel like it's an anachronistic kind of thing. It doesn't feel like it's going against screen oh, I was really sad, and now it feels like a well-crafted ensemble cast thing, which is what their goal is. It feels like an episode of a Lost or Deep Space Nine, where you've got each day has its A storyline, and then there's a B and a C storyline that's kind of going on throughout the day that you can pick up and pay attention to if you give a shit about.
Cool.
But yeah, game is absolutely gorgeous. Some of the most beautiful, gorgeous art I've seen. The music is like the level of Firewatch where I just found myself just leaving the game running sometimes. And it just is great writing music to have in the background. It took me a while to end up finishing the game because I honestly just got to this point where I just didn't want to leave that world. And then the game just sort of ends. Not so much a cliffhanger or anything. It just literally just ends. And I don't know if I like that still. All I know is I want a sequel. And I just want to know what's happening more with the characters. And also I am absolutely in love with the character of Mew, cat lady. In the game, and yeah, everything about Mutazione. If you are into that style game, I recommend playing it. It is available if you have an iPhone, iPad, whatever. It's available on Apple Arcade. I played it on PC. I think it's on PS4 as well, and I don't know where else it is or is coming to. If you like narrative stuff, it's great. Took me about roughly between like 8 and 9.5 hours. I kind of walked away from the computer a few times. But about 8 and 9.5 hours to beat, and I damn near got every Steam achievement in that game. So I came close to 100%ing it, I guess you could say. I will return to the game and see because you can make choices in the mid game. The beginning and end is always the same. It's the choices you make in the middle can shift some dialogue and change some things, not heavily, from my understanding. So I'm going to play the game at some point again just to see what those little subtle changes might be, because I kind of played a very jokey, sarcastic Kai. I'm kind of wanting to see what playing her. You have options to just be a downright bitch at some points, so I'm curious to see how that changes things.
All right, gotcha. Cool, man. It sounds like you got super into it.
The
fact that you're going back to it is just, with everything else we got doing, is
it's not just that. It's not just that. So
something.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not just the going back to. I'm going to go back to it. It's also the fact that I update. I both my monitors each have their own background, and it rotates between different stuff. I put 4 different images, screenshots from the game, rotated my backgrounds because the game is so gorgeous that I just want to look at it all the time now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I'm deeply in love with this game, and it's a fair chance it's going to be in my top 5 games of the year.
Yeah, like I know when I saw it on the Kind of Funny showcase at PAX West, like I definitely piqued my interest, even though I'm like, I kind of get into these games, kind of don't hit and miss for me, so it's something I want to check out for myself as well.
I recommend it.
Gotcha. So we'll kind of go on for a couple more things. I did jump into the Call of Duty beta this weekend. A mix of PS4 and PC, and something I gotta say is they already have cross progression working. Like I jumped I mostly played on PS4 doing 2v2 stuff with my friend, and then I jumped on PC and all my stuff was there. Like my levels there, my gun loadouts are there. I was like, that's pretty cool. Just to see that in that AAA space, that leader of sales, in that sense, they're actually pushing this cross-play, cross-progression forward. Say what you want on Call of Duty or Activision or whatever you think about them, even though they make good games, clearly. Clearly. No Call of Duty has ever been bad. But, yeah, it's just, this is a big leap forward. This is pushing us to breaking down those gaming walls much sooner than I think anybody anticipated. But it was cool to see. Also, I got to play the new game mode, which is they are straight up dipping their cookies in Battlefield's milk. I don't know if it's good or not. I died a lot, so I'm like, whatever. I played a little bit. I need to dive more into it. But basically, it is the main mode in Battlefield. It is 32 on 32. Big area, capturing points across this huge map and vehicles and stuff like that. Like, they're straight up trying to tell you there's no need for Battlefield anymore. I like this. I like this because Battlefield has been coming out like broken each year. Like just launching broken, staying broken, still messed up right now, Battlefield 5. And I'm hopefully this kicks something in EA to tighten things up for Battlefield and starting to release with more polish and stuff like that. Because now there is a direct competitor, has always been a direct competitor, but now it straight up has their game modes in there and trying to take away any reason for you to buy that game anymore. Okay. So, yeah, it's also a good thing. You can say copying or not, but basically it's competition, and competition can breed excellence. So, I'm excited on that aspect. But as far as Call of Duty goes, there's also been trailers out. We'll get to stay and play stuff in a minute. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm kind of interested into it, but at the same time, I got a lot of crap to play, so I'm not sure. It all depends if I got friends who are going to drag me into it or not. But we'll see. Yeah. Sorry, you had something?
No, I have no strong thoughts on Call of Duty. I mean, most of my knowledge of it is just hearing certain contingents talk bitch about it, certain contingents compliment it, and most of my knowledge at this point is John's brilliant article on the White Phosphorous thing that he did for IGN a week or two ago. So, like, I got nothing on Call of Duty.
Yeah, which they didn't backtrack. That's still in the game. It's in the beta.
Oh, they're not going to backtrack on it.
No, they're not. I mean, I understand their use of it. They want a weapon, like, gameplay-wise, that creates a wall. Will damage if you touch said wall. And I guess the only thing they could think that relates to is White Phosphorous, which,
questionable choice.
Better. Yeah. But, I mean, Battlefield 1 had mustard gas. So it's not like the first time something like this picks a terrible weapon to use. Not to mention, hell, every battle... I mean, John's article is awesome. It's letting you know this is what this does to you. Think about that. Don't think about it as just gameplay power up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, every Call of Duty you drop nukes too. Also horrible, but it's just like, ugh. I know everybody compares that to. They're like, hey, yeah, well, guns kill people too. It's like, yeah, but the way White Phosphorus kills people, it's...
My thing is ultimately what it boils down to, and I don't really want to get deep into this topic at all.
Yeah, I don't.
But all I'm just going to say is that I have no interest in a modern warfare game. I'm not using specifically Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I have no interest in a modern warfare game because life is hellish enough in the age we live in right now and stuff like that. I would rather live in a historical battle or a fantastic battle, or a science fiction battle, because there's a degree, because then I'm immersing myself in a different idea. If I'm putting myself in this modern battlefield kind of thing, it's just like, I know.
It depends how they handle it. Like Spec Ops, a very interesting way, very compelling story all the way through. Also fun gameplay throughout it too. How they handle a modern military ones where just the horrible stuff is happening. Mm-hmm. It's the same reason why some movies I love military movies. I like Black Hawk Down, I like Hurt Locker, I like any like modern type military type movie, all stuff like that too. And I guess it's the same thing with that's just that, but in video games is pretty much what Call of Duty is trying to do now. So it depends when it comes out. It's hard to say right now. It all depends how they handle it, and if they actually show like it's not all fun and games, even though you're playing a game. I don't know, man. It's a touchy subject.
The difference between what was the game you mentioned? I'm spacing on the name suddenly. With the White Phosphorus.
Spec Ops.
Yeah, with Spec Ops. The difference in Spec Ops is that Spec Ops is offering a poignant storyline discussing the nature of war and stuff like that. Most movies discuss the nature of war. Call of Duty is a lot of the time is modern bullets, gun erection madness kind of games in a lot of respects, particularly with the way multiplayers handle it. And that's, I think, the underlying issue. They're not offering a poignant discussion about this topic. They're just, making a video game, which is fine in the end. It's just acknowledgement, I think, should be had for things. But
yeah, I agree. But
it's not, no, I'm just I've talked more about this than I expected to. So.
Well, we'll go just somewhere where that's definitely not trying to tackle that, but they are doing personal attacks on me. It's Fortnite.
Do we have what about Fork Knife?
I played a match this weekend.
Yep, you played a match,
but I also spent $65, I think.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I didn't know you spent that fucking much.
The Batman pack. Batman's my weakness, and Batman was in it. I bought the Batman pack. I think that was $19.99.
Okay.
Then I bought various V-Bucks packs to get all the Catwoman stuff and a couple other things.
Okay.
I didn't know how much it added up to until I looked at my bank account later. I think it was around $65.
God damn, Justin. You just went all whale on them.
And I played one match. But this is why I don't feel... Okay, I mean, it's a bad life decision, but I did put a lot of time in Fortnite. Granted, I'm a founder member too, so I don't mind giving them some money because I definitely got experience from that and great experience that I probably should chip some more in for us. I don't mind that. That's fine.
Sure.
And then really when you sit and think about it, and I think, Greg Miller brought this up with Gabe Daily too, it is such a weird toys in a sandbox game when you think about it. Name another game where you could be Batman, Catwoman, John Wick, Star-Lord, Thanos, all just shooting each other in the face.
No, I mean, that's the simple fact of the matter is it is 100% kids in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's even to bring that forward aspect, it's kids in the sandbox fucking around, the video game, and that is 100% what it is. It is definitely that idea more than it's what a lot of other games have tried to do in that respect, and it accomplishes it. I got to be clear, nothing against Fortnite. I just don't like, particularly for me, it's not my style of gameplay, and I know if I actually got into the game, I would be that jackass dropping money on it. Now, my question is, Batman and Catwoman skins, can you earn just through gameplay?
I mean, Batman, I don't think you can. That was a straight up $19.99 pack. You could get V-Bucks in gameplay, so you could kind of buy earn Catwoman if you wanted to, but I mean, that's all Fortnite has always been. Like, having either
curious.
Batman. Yeah, I mean, Fortnite has never been a pay-to-win type thing. Like, everything's cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where, like, the Avengers game's going to get me, because I know I'll buy every freaking outfit they put on there. But
yeah, it's going to get me in a lot of places. I need a job that doesn't... I need a job for two reasons. I need a job because it'll allow me the money to buy stuff when Avengers comes out, and also to not allow me the time to actually play.
That's true. But we'll go ahead and jump ahead to you have a lot more experience than I do with this. But Untitled Goose Game.
God, this game, we've talked about this before. Last year at PAX West, all my notes were, I was about 5 lines in my notebook that I just wrote the word honk in various different fonts. If you told me that it would be the day this game came out, and I'm literally sitting on the couch like, I want to play, to the point that my wife had to convince me to play. My wife just had to convince me to buy the game. She actually had to sell me on buying it ultimately. And then I just played through the entirety of the game's, campaign essentially, which is like about 2.5, 3 hours in a single sitting, and then have literally not stopped thinking about it and have gone back to it constantly since then, even after beating it. If you told me I'd have all these thoughts about the fucking Goose Game, I would have blown my mind. My Twitter is like enriched with this wholesome ass fucking game.
God, it's so wholesome. I love it.
It's so wonderful of a game. Because like, and here's the thing, it has actually enough of a narrative that it raises a really dumb question when you first fire it up that you don't think about again until you finish the campaign. And it's like, and it literally was one of the biggest aha moments I have ever had in a video game in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating this. It was literally like, I'm sitting in bed just going, like, I audibly gasped and scared the ever-loving hell out of Charnel because she thought the baby had died. So yeah,
from the Untitled Goose Game. Go on.
But yeah, it was like I just was so surprised. Yeah, but it's so simple because one button is the honk, one button is to lean down, one button is to pick up, one button is to flap your wings out, and that's it. And then you walk around.
As far as I know, flapping your wings out has like no gameplay mechanic other than you could just flap your wings out.
There is one thing on your to-do list towards the end of the game where people want you to perform for them. And they'll have you, I think they have you honk, they have you bend a bow, and then they have you flap your wings to get a flower, as Yosemite Blam said in chat. Yeah, no, I mean, that's essentially it. But the game is very beautiful. Again, another game that's like just very simple style, but very beautiful. And then the music changes as you do stuff, and it's
but it's just kind of like weird jazz piano.
Yeah, and it's so absolutely pleasing. That's the best way I could put it. It's the most pleasing thing. And then Yeah, after you beat the game, it so there are hidden objectives that it goes from you don't know what they are, and then you get to just see what they all are when you finish the game. And I thought, I'm not going to bother with this. Literally, 5 of there's a bunch of objectives which essentially boil down to speed run the game. And I'm just like, well, I'm never going to get all these because no way in hell am I doing that. But then there were just some that were on there. We're just like, essentially, we just rethink how you do things. There's a to-do list item in the second area you go to, which is have someone rebuy an item that they own. But then there's a hidden one, which is have someone who's not from the high street, that location, buy it. I'm like, so you have to lure a person all the way to this area? Wow. And like, it just it challenges you to rethink the game. I ended up becoming absolutely obsessed with the idea. Rebecca Valentine and I were chatting on Twitter, and I made this comment about wanting to get every single person in the game in this one garage you could lock people in. And before it was pointed out to me, like, that statistically that's not possible. So I was just like, I wonder how many people I could get in. And someone's like, you could probably only get 2 in there. So I got 2 people in there, both people from the high street. But then it just became, could I get a third? I spent an hour and a half, Justin, trying to lure the gardener, the shopkeeper, and the little boy all into a garage. And I locked 2 men and a boy in a garage in the end.
Let's just not talk about the game anymore.
No, but it was I put so much effort into this stupid ass video, and I've never had a video break like 200 views on Twitter. That thing is like rocking 1,100 views, and I'm good. People please keep watching that, because I watch that every day. I watch that video 10 times a day, almost every day, because it makes me happy.
I don't know how I missed you posting that. Granted, soul-sucking work, but...
There's about, 2-3 days ago, I have a thread that's just me various things. Because again, that's what I love about this game. I'm not streaming this game. I haven't even tried to stream it. I'm just playing it in handheld mode on my Switch, and I'm literally going through the effort of uploading these videos to Twitter and writing out these things because I'm just so obsessed, and I want to just keep playing this game. I absolutely love every last detail about this, and I think it is just one of the most pure, beautiful experiences, and I think it's only like $15 on Switch right now.
Yeah, like, actually, I picked it up, and I played a little bit today, but I picked it up because, like, oh wow, I actually have enough coins from Nintendo to get this for free, which I did, and I played a little bit during lunch today. Like, I loved it when I played it at PAX West, not this year, but last year. I loved what I played today. I got a little bit into the gardener level. God, I just do stupid stuff like get into a bush, putting your head down, popping your head up, honk, and just go back down. I was like, do that with the guard. Like, it was like a cartoon where I did it on one side, popped up on the other side, did it on the other side, where you just running around. Yet this game's just so damn wholesome, and geese are still assholes, and that's what you are. And
that's the thing. I actually have a childhood crippling fear of geese because growing up in Connecticut, I went to this place called the Nature Center, and there were geese there, Canadian geese, the biggest asshole geese in existence, And somebody posted this really funny joke about Canadian geese, related to the Untitled Goose game. It's like, Canadian people are the nicest people in the world because the Canadian geese absorbs all of the anger of the entire country. And I was like, that is brilliant. But yeah, no, I got attacked by these 2 different geese when I was a kid. Like, it was literally like geese just on either side of me. Like, what you gonna do, bitch? Like, bouncing, like approached me on both sides, and like I was like 4 years old or some shit like that. So to this day, I still have a really bad fear of geese. So like, kind of playing an asshole goose, I don't know, it was this weird cathartic quasi-therapeutic moment, for like the lack of a better descriptor, All I know is I can't stop thinking about, like, I love another game they were to talk about in a minute on Switch, but I can't stop thinking about Goose. I can't. Yeah, I want the Goose in Smash.
Yeah, somebody Blam asked, like, is there other games like this? And you mentioned Donut County. Donut County, not really adorable art style, but that's like Katamari Damacy, but with holes instead of a ball. I can't really think of anything else like Untitled Goose Game. Like, it is. I mean, there are some stuff where you like control an adorable character doing some weird things. I know there's something that's like edging me that I know it exists, but I can't think of it right now.
Well, that's the thing. With the game, I saw some article that was just like, Untitled Goose Game proves that there's still types of games that people have not thought about. because it is very unique in the medium. It's very unique. My favorite thing is one of the people behind the game posted a picture from their Slack when they first were playing a game, and all it was he had said in the Slack, or they said in the Slack. I'm just going to go with because actually I don't know for a fact pronouns, but yeah, they said in the Slack. What do you think about a game? What do you think? It's like something like, what do you think about a game about this? And they just posted a picture of a goose. And then it was just pages of discussions about a goose where they all just kind of like mentally broke down because they realized they should make a game about a goose. Yeah.
And like the art style is super unique. I love it. The animation on the goose is freaking awesome and amazing. Like it's a goose. It does everything a goose does. It moves like a goose.
Everything about it is accurate to what I know of goose movement.
But yeah, I mean, I picked this up. Actually, I'm not going to talk a lot about these. I didn't dive deep into them, but like I did kind of like a little buying spree on Nintendo Store as well. Because I picked that up. I picked up Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I want to get into that, so I could talk about it. I wish I could talk about it this week, other than what we already talked about PAX, but I really haven't got any further in that. But it's still an awesome game. One of those games that like the level is made to the beat of the music and all this. Like, if you need to chill out, let's play some Sayonara Wild Hearts. And then I also picked up Jedi Knight Outcast 2.
Well, I was going to say on the Sayonara Wild Hearts really thing, I literally spent almost the entirety of the last week trying to convince Charno to download Apple Arcade. Purely because the only other iDevice we have is an iPad that is too old to upgrade to the newest iOS. Because
unfortunately, like, her experience on Wild Hearts was watching a screen of somebody else playing it where you could kind of hear the music with the crowd. It's not how you play that game at all.
No, and I've been trying to convince her to download it so I can play on her phone. So I finally convinced her to download Apple Arcade like last night. So I haven't had a chance to go hands on, but I hope to play it before next show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I've also heard it's like an hour long, so
yeah, something like that. And the soundtrack's amazing. The soundtrack's on sale, actually. Yeah. And then just a quick note about.
I would say you talking about Jedi Outcast 2, which I'm so mad that you pointed out that that's for Switch.
Not only for Switch, it's like $10.
Stop it.
Also, no invert option for a first-person shooter. Well, for a game that's halfway first-person shooter.
Okay.
What the hell? I mean,
I don't know. Did you remember if the old PC version had inverted options?
It didn't, but they added gyro aiming. Granted, you probably substitute.
So they actually added stuff in. Now that's weird that doesn't have.
Granted, you probably
controls.
can map gyro aiming to mimic a mouse, and that's probably what they're doing. But still, like, I mean, if you're going to go up, like, they had to touch it up and make it work well for the Switch. They had to change some options around. Why don't you just add a button map feature? Like, there's a Switch controller in the...
It discovers...
Hey, this is what the controls are.
If we talk to the developers, it turns out adding inverted or completely broken the game fundamentally. I don't know.
Probably. So, yeah, it's just... Wow, what an oversight. Especially talking about accessibility in games, and that's one that's just been kind of a standard.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree.
It's more of a preference, but some people just get used to it. And
no, I get what you're coming from. I get what you're saying. And no,
I played it, and I literally said out loud no and turned it off.
I love it. That's awesome.
But they did also retouch it up to actually work with 16:9 as it wasn't originally like that. So it looks great on the Switch. It looks fantastic on the Switch. Got that invert feature so I could actually play that game.
I was gonna double back on something somebody Blam said in chat about Sayonara Wild Hearts. So that's the next game I want. Audio is what I want. Is what I want. I'll play the game with headphones. Is there a difference between PS4/Switch? I don't have an iOS device currently. My understanding is all the versions of the game are exactly the same.
Pretty much.
What you get for Apple Arcade for games like Sayonara Wild Hearts, Mutazione, other stuff we've discussed is you get the game. It's literally it's not some mobile version. It's literally the same exact game.
I mean, PS4, it's going to look a little crisper.
Sure.
But this games just are so artistic and just beautiful the way it is. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to notice it. The other part is trophies.
Yeah, so essentially, you trophies on PS4. Otherwise, what does it matter?
And with Sayonara Wild Hearts, trophies actually, I think, add to the game because it is a game that you play as leisurely or as hardcore as you want to. Like the game, like you can't fail at the game unless you want to. You can make the game as hard as you want. Like if you keep failing at a section, it will stop. Ask you, do you want to continue on with this section or skip it, or do you want us to never ask you this question again?
Ooh.
So they just want you to enjoy the damn game, and it's a game worth enjoying. So highly recommend it. We're not
Good.
Pirate King. We're not going to join Auto Chest.
Yeah, Pirate King and chat for the audio listeners are or the VOD watchers. When are you all going to join me on Auto Chess on mobile so we can be schmucks together? Which you misspells schmucks. But yeah, no.
So the thing is, I probably love it, but I still don't have a full grasp on it. Like to the point, I was listening to the Kind of Funny Games Daily today with Craig Miller and Plessy, not knowing what the hell it was either. To the point they called up Jackie Collins.
Yeah, I heard that they had a lot of unplanned guests on the show.
Yeah, it was an interesting show. But God, what were we? 50 minutes. God.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about it.
Last game, yeah. So,
going from one adorable game to another, Zelda Link's Awakening, or just Josh puts it the Reawakening.
Yeah, no, I mean, no. So it's one of those. I absolutely. So I was thinking back on my experience with Zelda, and I was trying to think. So technically speaking, Zelda 2 qualifies as my my first Zelda experience. But as I told someone, I played it for like 8 minutes, and I think I died and heard Ganon's laugh, and in all of its 8-bit glory, and it scared the ever-loving shit out of me. So I
was horrified at that age.
Yeah, so like I didn't play again. I didn't touch a Zelda game again until Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, because my orthodontist's office had 3 Game Boys that just sat on a desk for the kids, the kids' orthodontist place, and every appointment I went there about, God, I want to say every 2 weeks to a month, and I would just play the first. It was a long wait time for those appointments. I played the first, I don't know, half an hour or so to an hour of Link's Awakening every single appointment every 2 weeks for like a year or two before they changed out the games and stuff like that. And that was my first experience with Zelda. I didn't play another Zelda game until Twilight Princess. I didn't play, which I played like 15, 20 hours of and lost interest. I didn't play another one after that until Breath of the Wild, which unlike Twilight Princess, I absolutely love Breath of the Wild, and just kind of just stopped playing somewhere around the 30-hour point. There was no even like good reason why. It's just stuff comes up kind of thing.
My goodness, you need to go back and play Link to the Past. Granted, you have so many ways to do it right now.
I have more ways than I can count. Funny thing is, I always mixed up Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. So, anyways, I'm playing Link's Awakening, and
I mean, there's good reason to. Link's Awakening originally was supposed to be just a Link to the Past, a port on Game Boy. If you actually look at the map, and some areas are very damn similar. The map layout is extremely damn similar. But then Reawakening kind of became its own thing. Actually, it became a super unique Zelda. Yeah. Buying just a story that has nothing to do with Zelda.
Yep.
A Zelda game that uses a lot of Nintendo properties in it, which we have never seen in another Zelda game. From Chain Chomps, Piranha Plants, Goombas.
Well, I mean, the entire point of the game is spoilers for 20-plus-year-old game. It's all happening inside a dream. So they had the luxury of doing some crazy shit with it because, well, this is even though it's a real Zelda game, it's all inside a dream. So we could be wacky with it.
And God, the art style they chose for this, if it's a dream, it's so beautiful. It's so adorable.
What sold me on getting this on Switch was the redo of the game. I'm actually going to Best Buy tomorrow to pick up the amiibo for it. I've had it ordered. I just haven't gotten a chance to go over there and get it. But it's the art style that ultimately sold me on it. And yeah, when I finally fired it up, I was like, I'm just not going to be into this game. I've literally never played a 2D, let alone a top-down 2D Zelda game. This is just not going to be, at least in the capacity of, adulthood. This is not going to be for me. I'm not going to do anything with it. And then, seriously, the next thing I knew, 90 minutes had gone by. Granted, I spent 40 minutes of that in the crane game. I caught Yoshi on my second attempt, and then I just became obsessive.
How did you have that many rubies?
Oh, literally just walk out, kill all the grass. And every time I walk out and kill all the grass, I'd get about 10 to 30. And then I would just walk back in. I did that for 40 minutes. I probably had somewhere around 800 to 900 rupees by the time I was done, except I spent them all on the crane game. And yeah, no, I did that. I went up into the woods. Where I'm at right now, I'm in the middle of the first dungeon, or actually not the middle. I think literally I'm going to go up against the nightmare next. And I was just too tired to keep playing. But I've been playing it while podcast editing, and it is a fucking delight.
Yeah, it's so awesome that, like, this is a remake. I said, like, they don't usually use any assets, of course, but it's also a one-to-one remake of the map. Like, every dirt plot, every pixel of grass takes up a single square. Everything is laid out exactly as it was in the Game Boy version, with a few different things being, instead of a place where you use the Game Boy camera, which you clearly can't do it now, they popped in the Dampy's place where you can actually mess with the dungeon creator, which I haven't messed with yet. I found the location, but I haven't actually messed with the creator itself yet. But yeah, I think we'll definitely have some more. Like, I'm still working my way through this. I'm about 3 dungeons in. I mean, my notes are just stupid from it's totes adorbs. Look at his little linky feet pitter patter as he takes off like a cartoon character with the Pegasus boots. That is, my God, I need to record this stuff. I could just watch this animation all day, because with the sound effects, like, it's literally like he like winds up his feet, pitter pattering it up. Like, you see kind of go forward and then back and just... It's like, oh, it's so adorable. My God, I love this game.
Everything about it's great.
Yep.
I've loved every moment so far with the game.
Yeah. It does have weird performance issues, and this was really getting knocked on right now. I watched a video from the DualShockers that actually, I think, nailed down what it is. It's not that it's an graphically demanding game, though it is beautiful, but Nintendo shows what it's like when you have good art design, and what art design could do for the looks of a game, or how the visuals of a game is accepted. Because like, if you have clear art design, Breath of the Wild, the Persona games, it's just when it becomes now, it's like, oh, how realistic it has to look, but just how God beautiful it is, how it works well together. I don't know. Is it Nintendo that does it? Probably one of the best that does that. Like, they commit to one design and a vision all the way through, where to make everything make sense in that. That was I forgot where I was going with this, but thing is, I like this game. But yeah, DualShockers brought up, like, it might have been like a memory issue with the game.
Okay.
Because
I haven't had any of the issues discussed yet, just to be clear. I have not experienced any hiccups more than just some basic long loadings here and there.
Yeah. Are you playing it on cartridge, or did you No, you download it because you had the pass, right?
Yeah, I have the pass.
Okay, did you download it straight to your Switch memory, or did you download it to your SD card?
I could look it up. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, you don't have to worry about that part. Well, the thing is, like, it may be a memory issue. Because they found, like, if you actually walk to one side of a certain area on the map to the other, like, it does kick up every now and then there. But then after, like, all that's loaded, it just runs fine. There might be some memory leak issues, where that's pretty much where, assets kind of like loaded up in the memory, but it's never released.
To answer your question, by the way, I looked it up. I have it on my micro SD card.
Gotcha. They actually found that it does perform better if it's stored on the internal memory versus an SD card or a cartridge. So, yeah, it seems like that's something they can patch and hopefully improve the performance. But granted, like, it's a jarring at sometimes, but it never hampered my enjoyment of the game. But yeah, it's just a thing to note. We'll have more to say on this next week, because I'm pretty sure we'll both dive deeper into it. And there's already so much more we got to talk about. And God, we're already an hour in. We haven't even, like, hit all the crap that's hit this week, which has been insane.
And just to put out there, I have to be done in here in 25 minutes.
Okay, so let's get into this. A lot happened this week in gaming, especially Batman Day. A lot of teases of Batman. You WB Montreal, I love you, but I hate you right now because they were teasing a Batman game so hard, and everybody's pointing to like the dealing with the Court of Owls, which I hope it does, but who knows what it's going to do. Actually, I had theories, but I forgot what they all were. Anyways, point is, everybody thought it was going to pop up in PlayStation State of Play or Inside Xbox. You know, Inside Xbox literally laid out what they were doing. I mean, they had the and more, but they had like a set schedule, and I was posted beforehand. Like my first note for the PlayStation 4 State of Play is like Batman. No,
Batman. Yeah, it wasn't. That's not what we got, and yeah.
Yeah. The State of Play, it's a little weird.
I'm gonna be straight up. I'm just gonna say right now, I thought the State of Play was one of the most boring things I've ever fucking watched.
That's the thing is because I don't think they're still holding a lot of cards to their chest right now. A lot of things they are not ready to show. So it's more like, we're gonna have this big announcement at the end. Let us try to hype up all this other stuff that you may or may not have seen. Well, then you throw crap like in like Call of Duty and stuff like that, but.
There's stuff like After Party that I care about. There's other things in there that I cared about, but I just found the pacing of the actual show itself and the way they handled it. Honestly, if I wasn't watching Tim Geddes and Blessing Adeoye on Kind of Funnies, like if I wasn't watching them talk over it, I think I would have just lost interest and turned it off. Top of that, I'm just going to say right now, the trailer for Last of Us 2 killed literally every ounce of interest I had in the game.
Ooh, really?
I'm going to be clear here. Did not have interest in all that strong of interest in the first place. I thought Last of Us 1 was a phenomenal, damn near perfect game, and the idea of doing another game focusing on the same main characters bugs the shit out of me. I would have preferred something in the same universe if they were going to go that route. I get why they went the route they did. So I wasn't the strongest contender for the game in the first place, but yeah, just watching yet another storyline with fridging the girlfriend, something they've already done with Ellie before, and watching the blatant red herringness of Joel and stuff like that, where of the conversation and stuff like that, which they're not in the same place. It's not the same scene, people. I'm just like, I'm gonna be clear. I'm fucking playing this game. I literally don't need this. I didn't need to see that trailer, and I don't need to see anything else on it.
No, because like a trailer either is confirming they are doing the tropey thing they always do, or it is a direct troll.
It could be the most red herring thing ever, and they're not actually doing that. Which, yeah, okay,
yeah, because they set up like, hey, Ellie has a girlfriend. They look like they really enjoy each other. They're really like close, and then attack happens, she gets taken, and you assume she gets killed. But
that is the strong implication.
No, it's not shown, it's just heavily implied, and that's probably not going to be what actually happens. So, yeah, I mean, the game's beautiful, even though like I saw a couple of shots of like, holy crap, it looks like Red Dead. Either way, I mean, I'm already excited for it. I already been, like, I don't need to see any more trailers about it. It was nice to actually get the release date confirmed. What was it, February 28th? First.
23rd, yeah, it was like 21st or 23rd. I couldn't remember there.
21st. Though they are missing out on that 02/20/2020 date.
Yeah, but missing out greatly there.
But yeah, February 21st. So it's nice to actually get all those rumors confirmed. Especially these, I forget which panel it was, where, God, who was it that slipped up?
I don't remember now.
Recently is who plays Ellie? Her boyfriend.
Ashley. Shit. God, what is her name?
Basically, during a panel, like someone's like, "Hey, we can't wait till you see it far off in advance." Like, dude almost like mouthed out February something. That's what release sounded like, in a very quick pickup. On that first
Ashley
syllable.
Johnson.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, no, very much so.
Yeah. Anyways, cool everything.
Yosemite Blam said they could have done some clever things with the trailer to throw people off, but yeah, Naughty Dog and Rockstar are on another level.
True.
I would agree on that.
But other stuff, Medieval limited time demos out right now. You get an extra item in there. PSVR real cool to see that you're still strongly focusing on it. A lot of cool indie games. Way more to get into right now with the time we have. Civ 6 coming to PS4. God, what I feel like that already happened because it's on the Switch. Or it's Civ 5 on the Switch.
Sincerely surprised me that it wasn't already on there because I could have sworn it was.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Death Stranding popped up a Hideo Kojima game made by Hideo Kojima. Special PlayStation version, PlayStation Pro bundle coming out. The controller looks weird. People think it has the baby in it, but it doesn't. But the Death Stranding across the touchpad looks really cool.
Okay.
And other than that, MLB The Show 2019, which is the latest MLB The Show, and Last of Us Remastered jumping on PS Plus for next month. That's an awesome lineup. But yeah, a lot of other stuff here. But we're going to jump into Inside Xbox, which is even longer.
Which I didn't watch anything. I literally do not know anything that was shown off there.
Yeah, so like State of Play, they're trying to go the line of what Nintendo's doing. But this Inside Xbox is like the stream after the game conference. It's kind of what it felt like. They announced a lot of cool stuff coming to Game Pass. A whole lot of stuff coming to the PC Game Pass. A lot of stuff coming to it's console Game Pass. Beta started for the Xbox Cloud gaming.
Which I signed up for.
Which I did until like I already had everything good. It's like, what device do you have? It's like, I don't see iPhone.
Yep, Android only.
Yeah. Interesting note though, on that same sign up page, scroll a little further down, they also have the stream from your console. Use your console as the server option too. So they're getting into that. That's cool that they're actually just jumping headlong into this. Other stuff that was in there. Atlas was shown, which would very much confuse me because it looks super like Sea of Thieves. But they immediately comment on this, like, why would we push a game that looks like a Sea of Thieves game? Well, let me tell you what Atlas is. It's made by the guys who do Ark Survival. It pretty much is as they kind of described it, a survival game, but pirates. A lot of similarities with Sea of Thieves, but it looks just much deeper. So if you're looking for something that's like that, open world pirate game, more consequences, deeper gameplay, that's what it looks like Ark's going to be. They kind of mentioned like health and stuff. They even said scurvy, and I wrote scurvy as a gameplay mechanic. Why am I further turned on? Yeah, I don't know. Looks interesting, but early access will jump out sometime October 8th, I think. This will actually have crossplay between PC and Xbox One. There's a whole lot of other crap that went on there, man.
Yeah,
but I can't think.
Endless.
So something else that also happened it happened today, and I don't have all the. Oh yeah, something Daisy happened. I'm surprised people still pay attention to that. Even though it seems to get better.
I that surprises me a little bit, yeah.
But no care. Oh yeah, other stuff they had. I mean, they had to look at more stuff about the Auto Worlds, Ghost Recon, just general stuff. A lot of cool indie games too. After Party, shout out for making another show up. They were both on State of Play and Inside Xbox. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So the big thing that happened today, Facebook Oculus, or Oculus Facebook, however you want to say it, had a nice little presentation. A lot of cool, awesome things. And I think the bigger things of this era now is like Oculus Quest is going to have a way to track your hand. Like, I am correct. This is not a new model. This is with the Oculus Quest, right?
So for which thing? For the Link? Or?
The hand tracking.
Oh, the hand tracking. Yeah, sorry. The hand tracking. Yeah, a lot of people who have the Rift. Sorry, I was reading something and I missed part of what you said. People really who with the Rift S are super mad because they're getting nothing. The Quest right now, is getting the hand tracking ability.
Let's think. I was
literally reading about that when you just were talking about it.
Actually, the Rift S, I think, does have the same amount of cameras. I wouldn't be surprised if they patch this in. But it kind of looks like they're doing a reverse of what Connected. In other words, like, it's not like looking at you, but it's looking like from your vision out, but still looking at your hands and tracking them in space by depth and stuff like that.
Yep.
The game, or the stuff that's in the video, is from Sorcery something game. It's pretty much a VR tech demo. They kind of like, every time like something new with a touch control comes out, I always see this demoed first.
Well, I'm going to read this to you really quickly. Our friend Eka, guy behind Falcon, with people behind Falcon Age, wrote, I did the hand tracking demo on Oculus Quest. It works well with individual hands spaced apart, but breaks on any overlap. Currently, I don't think it's great for game interaction, but they're still improving it for next year. It seems perfect for enterprise.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like people are like, because you kind of mentioned cool hand track games that actually track what my hands, like actual hands, without having to use a controller. But yeah, that all depends on how well a dev can take it and use it. I always mention with the Index, like the Index demo that Valve did, fantastic, shows you what the controller is capable of. Mm-hmm. But from games that implement it, I do not see that level of detail in those controls or reaction with them. So. It's still like I give it to Oculus and Facebook for this. They are definitely pushing VR forward a whole lot more than anybody else is right now. Though, granted, PlayStation is making it more affordable, but actually throw that back. I mean, with Oculus Quest, that's as much or a little bit more than PS Pro, and you don't have to worry about buying the system and the headset with it. Like they're actually the more viable option for somebody who wants to get into like with somebody who doesn't want to put their phone in a goggle and call that VR. That's like actually wants like a meaty VR experience. They're definitely making the moves right now. And with that too, like my big thing about the Oculus Quest is like I want to get one because like that's just an awesome thing to bring to people where you can just literally draw your play area and start playing with no wires. But I was like, kind of like, man, it'd be nice to also have a headset that I can actually works with all the Oculus stuff too. Granted, I do have ways to make the Rift work, the Rift work with that stuff. No, the Index. Why am I calling it the Rift? That's the. I'm getting all my stuff mixed up. I have the Index. Let's talk about stuff. I'm at the Index finger controls, but anyways, like, I was always worried about like, but I would actually like set the work to the Oculus Store because they actually do get like these incredible VR exclusive titles. One that we'll actually talk about in a little bit. But they mention what's called the Oculus Link. Okay, yeah, that's what it's called. I mean, the Oculus Link essentially is, from everything I've read about it, is it allows you. So the Quest is its own unit essentially. The Link just allows you to use it as a VR headset, like a traditional Oculus hooked up to your computer. It'll allow you to connect the Quest to your PC, using your PC to push all the games, and also dive into the Oculus library that is just on the PC, not on the Quest yet. And I imagine you also can roll this into Valve's compatibility with the Oculus as well, too. So pretty much it lets you can. Okay, so what I'm reading is the Quest will, at least right now, is not at all compatible with any Steam VR stuff. It's this thing, like, that's what I'm really curious about, how the computer sees it. Because the computer just sees it as a Rift. I'm just going based on what I read from people who've already messed around with it, but that could just be a current model thing. That could just be a talking point. That could be you're not supposed to use Oculus with Steam VR stuff, so we're saying that, even though there's totally a way to do it. You know, I don't know to what degree that's just what I read on Twitter that people were one of the people, not so much complaints, but commentary people had. Yeah, but I don't know. It's really cool. That's a really awesome way to get more bang for your buck. That actually highly entices me to pick up a Quest. I'm not right now because I just spent a whole lot on the Index, but like it's more and more up there. But I am leaning towards it because Quest, the Oculus Store has such an incredible lineup. They got I keep forgetting the name of the game, but Insomniac's doing it. I think it looks amazing. I don't remember what it is. You mentioned it a few weeks ago. But on top of that, like Harmonix is doing a lot of stuff with them too. I think Guitar Hero VR is exclusive to that. Also, they had the dancing game that came out exclusive to that. But another thing is Vader Immortal, which they announced today. Episode 2 of Vader Immortal dropped. Which is something you were talking very happily about on the first VR bit we did a few weeks back. Yeah, well, I mean, to give you a quick thing what Vader Immortal is, or thing, it is going to be a 3-chapter saga that takes place between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One. And I believe it's written by David Goyer, the story, who's written stuff like Dark Knight and Blade. Yep, lots of good stuff. I want to explain what the story is about, but it's hard to say it without spoiling it. But you talked about it. We have an episode. I mean, people can go watch the episode about it. It's like about a month ago. It's very heavy on VR.
stuff, and you talked. You went into the story pretty deep.
How deep did I go into the story?
I mean, you didn't. You said that you didn't spoil it, but you talked about the surrounding story of it.
Yeah, but the key thing I can say that really keeps it really interesting and into all the Star Wars lore is like Vader did not forget what put him in the spot he is now, and that's kind of what he's researching through this entire story. And you're kind of witnessing that by also like entangling with it and becoming a part of it. It's a really awesome VR experience, especially Star Wars VR experience. Which for anybody who wants to play a lightsaber game with VR, this is what that is. It's just awesome. Like I'm super excited to jump into episode 2. I might stream episode 1 and 2 this weekend. I'm thinking about that. But yeah, that's cool that I would say, hey, it dropped today. And there is just so many things that I want to cover here that I can't, because I honestly haven't dived deep into. Like I heard about YouTube VR coming to Oculus, Fandango now coming to Oculus, whole lot of other stuff, but we're just acknowledging it happened. And I'm trying to wrap up before Chardonnay kills both Josh and myself. So
it's entirely possible. No, we'll be good.
I've seen her with the Super Saiyan headgear on, man. So I know she's powered up. I do not want to compete with that.
I really need to start one of those episodes with that on. It barely fits around my head.
I mean, what was the other week? I put the Psycho Mask on with it.
I haven't tried both yet. Our Psycho Mask is still in the wrapping because I kind of want to see if it goes up in price so I can sell it.
No. By how many they gave away at PAX West? No.
Probably not. That's why I want to see if it goes up in price.
You're like, I want 5. Sure, here you go.
Shut up.
But yeah, that's this is a train wreck of a catch-all.
You say this literally. No. You say every week it's a train wreck, and it's literally never been a train wreck at every point. At any point, this is an enjoyable, well-produced show where we somewhat know our topics.
Catch-all. Yeah. This was packed with a lot of experiences we want to talk about.
It was packed with a lot of meat that got launched off the train as it crashed. No,
yeah, and started flaming out of control. But yeah, I mean,
if I flirt with you anymore, I'm gonna be flaming.
Video games are cool. That's all you really need to know. And you can catch me, Justin Stanley, at Justin_Glorious on Twitter. You can catch Josh at Bear Punch. You can catch all of our constantly calibrating hijinks at ConCalPod on Twitter. And if you're listening to this, you can watch it live at mixer.com/ConCalPod. Where we do it every Wednesday. I'm going to say 8 p.m. Eastern because that's my time zone, but 5 Central?
5 Pacific. Central would be 1 hour earlier than you.
God, I hate daylight savings time. Anyways.
It's the same. Literally, it's always the same. It's a 3-hour difference to Pacific. It's a 2-hour difference to Mountain. It's a 1-hour difference to Central. There we go.
Yeah.
It's just the difference is daylight savings screws up whether it's a 3-hour difference to me or a 2-hour difference to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm just going to throw out when Constantly Calibrating 300 is up. Highly recommend go check that out if you want to know more about us. Constantly Calibrating, where it came from, how it got here.
It was a good show. It was a good show. It was a very specific show, but it was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but this is another kind of like we got more eyes on us now. It's our 300th episode. We dive deep back in with it with everybody involved. So,
yarp.
It is awesome stuff. But yeah, that is it for this week's catch-all. So, razzle dazzle wubba till we catch you next time. It's been a genuine pleasure.
I got nothing.
I got nothing too, dude. God, my mind is so just blah right now. Just trying to... it's throwing so much stuff out right now. Like, I got diarrhea of the mind at the moment, but it also wants to sleep.
I'm glad I have not hit stop yet.
That's the close of this show.